I will probably spend an hour or so every day watching and surfing on the YouTube, looking for new cameras and lenses, new tech, etc. Currently, I've been watching a lot of videos on the new Apple M1. Well, all it has is what, 16 gig of RAM, and yet the darn thing, it's able to do the Final Cut video editing, in flying colors. And the price, it's, it's really reasonable. So I'm really amazed. But then again, even though a lot of YouTubers, a lot of reviews, they will claim 16 gig is, it's more than enough for the video editing. Unless of course you're doing something really intensive, then yeah, maybe it's not enough in that sense. But for the majority of us, 8 gig of RAM or even 16 gig of RAM, it's plenty enough. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I will believe them because they are the expert. It's just it's just me. I feel not too confident with just having 16 gig of RAM. So I guess I'll be waiting for M2 or or whatever new computer that's capable of upgrading or increasing the RAM. But basically, I am sold to the latest Apple's M1 chips. I'm still debating whether I should get a laptop or an iMac. The one that I'm using right now is what, 5-6 years old. It's got 64 gig of RAM. It's still going somewhat strong. It's still perfectly usable. I'm not complaining, somewhat. I don't want to chuck it away, so I'm thinking maybe I should get a laptop, so that I could go out, bring the laptop along and do the editing on site. It looks cool to have a laptop, do some editing inside a cafe. Well, anyhow, talking about the reviews, well, okay, this channel, Any Button, this is, well, in all honesty, the only reason for this channel to exist is because of trying to promote our products. That's really the underlying purpose of having this channel here. On a practical note, I can't. It's pointless to talk about straps. It's boring. It's a strap, for crying out loud. It's a lot more exciting to talk about cameras. Now the good thing is I do have a lot of cameras, but then again, a lot of them, well, I'll say like 99% of them, cameras or lenses, I do not use them anymore. Even the Leica SL, I don't use it as often. The Fuji GFX, I don't know the camera at all. A lot of people ask me like, oh, okay, how does this lens, how does it fit on the Fuji GFX? Does it render dark corners? Does it cover the medium format? I did a 1 or 2 video back then, but I just don't enjoy using the Fuji camera. It's just way too bulky for street photography. Same thing with the Leica SL. It's bulky. It's just, with the Leica SL, it's just way too bulky compared to the Leica M. Yeah, I have been using this, this monochrome since day one, and I must say I get to know this Leica monochrome pretty well, including the Summaron 3.5 as well. Like I said earlier, I do surf around the YouTube a lot, and I have seen a lot of so-called reviews. I do expect to see a lot of sample images, just because the YouTuber or the reviewer says the rendering is crappy. Maybe to me maybe it looks just fine. So I don't know. But luckily, there are a lot of good reviews that I have been following. Yeah, they will mention a lot of the pros and the cons on the practical side, as well as a lot of a lot of samples, including the video samples, the image samples, etc., etc. The review itself, it's rather comprehensive, and I find that to be extremely useful. So for a photography channel, I guess you really have to make an effort to go out and use the camera. I would say this is the fundamental core behind photography. But what is the point of just talking about cameras or lenses and calling it a review without going out and taking pictures? So the second thing is, you really cannot be too stingy with the photos that you have taken. You really have to shoot a lot of images and upload them, per video. Absolutely no point of you saving these images for the rainy days, because duh, I mean, you can always go out again and shoot some more. The bottom line is you will never be able to run out of photos as long as you go out and shoot. They're talking about these cameras as if these guys are some investment items. I find that to be somewhat annoying. They will actually talk extensively about the cameras that might be coming out because of some rumors that's spreading all over the places. The video will last like what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? The camera is not even out yet. It's only a rumor, and yet they will talk rather extensively about the cameras. I mean, why? I've been asking myself this question: why are they doing this? I guess it's because of this YouTube AdSense. No video, no income. I'm not against that. It's a career, it's a job. That's perfectly respectable. To some extent, you really have to, make some effort of actually using the camera, instead of just talking about it. I guess getting paid through the YouTube channel, it's good. At the same time, it's bad. Okay, on one side of it, it's good because you are receiving some sort of an income. It is motivating. It does motivate you to make better quality video, better content, etc., etc. But on the downside is you could always abuse the system. Like, all right, I'm not gonna make quality content, but instead I will be making quick videos after videos without caring a shit about the actual quality of the video itself. The only effort will be to constantly making the videos. It really spoiled the market by feeding a lot of unnecessary information here. It just makes everything so pointless. I'm just ranting here. Well, there are things I wholeheartedly do not agree with it. This is me releasing my anger, I suppose. But anyway, recently I have been using this light lens lab, this Chinacron thingy, but instead of stopping it down to 5.6 or f8, I've been using it wide open, and guess what? I would say that is pretty interesting. But these images, I have put them over at the Shutter Alliance. You know, you could always join us at the Facebook group. Let's do a comparison between this Leica Summaron and this light lens lab. On the monochrome, not on the Leica SL. I'm somewhat colorblind. I'm horrible with the colors. But for the black and white, it's easier for me to see things. But anyhow, I've been using these two lenses and shooting them at wide open. I won't say which image is taken by which lens. You just have to figure out yourself. It's pretty obvious, I would say. It's pretty obvious. The light lens lab is f2, while the Summaron is 3.5. So there is a subtle difference in terms of the bokeh wise between these two lenses. The saturation is slightly different as well, but I'm not gonna say which is which. You figure out which is which. Alright guys, yeah, enjoy.